it's Jessica. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you guys because I'm trying to keep up this vlogging thing. I've been being told for a couple of years now that I should be making videos recording my thoughts for a couple of reasons. I have Lyme disease and or manifestations of Lyme disease, and I have memory issues because of it, and a lot that comes with it. So I want to be able to record my healing journey, and I've just been being really pushed by Spirit to start making videos and playing with all different kinds of recording and interviews. And I'd like to record interview sessions with my friends about memories that we have shared or otherwise, and how they've affected you, and how you see them playing out in your life. So if you'd like to come on and talk to me or with me and share a memory or two, and hopefully some laughter and maybe some tears and definitely a lot of healing, I would love if you could email me at thelovinglyme@gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram or Facebook at thelovinglyme. Anyway, the thoughts that I've been having lately are centered around my worth and the indoctrination that I received as a child. And I've been asking myself, why not rise to the top? Why not feel good? Why not thrive? Because I used to ask myself, well, who am I to think that I'm someone special, or who am I to, have anything good, or who am I to feel good about myself, and isn't that, like, egotistical to feel good about yourself, and all kinds of weird shit, right? Like, so I've been working on a lot of stuff since my mom died in January, and now I'm starting to ask myself, who am I not to be happy? Who am I not to have a life of joy? Who am I not to thrive in my body? Who am I not to strive for healthy boundaries and healthy relationships? And who am I not to feed my body in a way that builds it up? And, all of these questions, instead of all of the reasons coming up of why I felt like I didn't deserve goodness, now I'm focusing on the things that show me that I do. And it's really funny because I feel like I can look at other people through a lens of love and acceptance, but when it comes to myself, I have a hard time looking at myself in a loving way unless I talk about myself in like a third person. And I think that might be part of my DID. I'm not really sure. Maybe that's just something everybody has, but I have a detachment from the person that's experienced this life, and the person that I am in each moment, which the perception changes, which is part of DID. But I realized that the reason I was having a problem with looking at myself in a loving way was because I wasn't really looking through my own lens. I was looking at the lens through the indoctrination that I had received through my childhood, and I grew up in a trauma-filled, addictive, abusive house. So I was observing all of these things that were going on in my family, and I picked up on the vibration, because in this life we have this thing where we look at our outside and then make a decision about who we are based on the outside, when actually it's the opposite. It's what we think that then manifests into our world. And looking at myself through this encrypted indoctrination that I'm now removing, the indoctrination led me to a bunch of manifestations of disease, I have manifestations of Lyme disease and PTSD and DID and fibromyalgia and Hashimoto's, and I had endometriosis, and I had postpartum depression, and then postpartum psychosis, and then candida overgrowth and IBS, and I'm a multiple sexual abuse survivor, and all kinds of stuff manifested in my life as a result of this indoctrination that I had received, which nobody did on purpose. It's just, I don't know, part of the evolution. It's what I decided for myself when I chose to come here. I don't really know, but it is what it is, that's for sure. And I honestly, I tried to kill myself when I went through postpartum psychosis at 6 times. And I felt like I had survived that, you know, because I'm out of the phase of where I'm really, you know, taking action to kill my body. I still struggle with thoughts, which I'm deconstructing now, but I'm no longer taking the action to harm my body, which is growth. But I thought, you know, I had survived the suicide, but now I'm realizing I didn't. I didn't survive it. My body is responding to my thoughts, you know, the thoughts that I'm having as a manifestation of trauma or Lyme disease, or I don't even know what it is anymore, but actually I do know what it is. It's the manifestation of all of the feelings and all of the trauma that I was never allowed to process. It's ancestral trauma, you know, that's coming up through my system so that it can be healed. And so, I mean, that's what I think it is. But now I realize that I've gotten my body into this, like, self-suicide mode, which is a scientific thing. You know, our cells have the ability to commit suicide, you know, and we are 80% water, and if you've watched Dr. Emoto's experiment on water and what speaking over water will do to the crystals of the water, you can imagine, like, what our negative thought patterns do to our bodies. And if you haven't watched that video, I definitely suggest you YouTubing it. So, I know that I can, and I have already removed a lot of the energy blocks that are holding me back, and I can see that resulted in my surroundings. I can see that I have manifested a living situation, and I see that as I work on my vibration and raising my vibration, I manifest more of the things that I would like in my life, like support and finances and love and food and happiness and joy and things like that. And there's work in between, of course, but I wasn't manifesting those kinds of things before, or I was, but my perception of them, I couldn't see that I had those things. That's probably what it is. And I just, with a shift in perception and by working on raising my vibration, I feel better, and I'm attracting the stuff into my life. So I know what I'm doing is working. And I just feel like if we are created in the image of our Creator, then we are creators. And if I'm a creator, then I can also destruct what I've created, right? So I'm in a destructive pattern in a positive way. And I'm doing this a couple of ways. I am doing really weird, strange things to raise my vibration. Things that 5 years ago I would have thought were kind of silly. I'm doing a lot of positive self-talk and stuff like that. I think one of the biggest things I'm doing, though, to raise my vibration is things like not giving my fucks away to nouns, any noun, if it doesn't bring me joy. I'm not doing anything I don't want to do anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it. Was, fuck you, I won't do what you told me. Yeah. the establishment. I have authority issues. Anyway, so yeah, I have a pattern of being a people pleaser. My mother was raised as a people pleaser, and I was raised as a people pleaser, and society compounds that people-pleasing aspect. I drew a lot of conclusions about myself that if I couldn't please people, then I wasn't worth anything, and that I didn't have any other purpose other than pleasing people, and that if I wasn't pleasing people, there was something wrong with me, and I forgot who I was. Now I'm in this place where I have to find myself again. This is what a midlife crisis is, guys. We're here. We've arrived. So, anyway, yeah, I totally was raised in a family that manifested the codependency vibration, and so I'm trying to work my way out of that, because when I deconstructed that codependent thinking of worth, and was like, well, wait a minute, how do I feel about this? Not what have I been told, or not what have I watched, but how do I really feel? Where do people's worth lie? Does it lie in the service that they can provide others, or does it lie in the essence of their being and the fact that we are symbiotic and we're breathing the same air and we're both here having strange experiences? I mean, no matter what life you have, I guarantee you it's strange, right? So when I looked at my worth through my lens, which I had to scrape off, I guess the gross smudge on the lens, that the residue that I had on there, to see clearly, to see myself clearly, and by doing that, wonderful things come into my life, and it's really, really, really amazing. And I really feel now that I'm asking the question, what does the expanded version of myself look like? The one who knows her power and is centered in her authenticity. Okay. And this is what it looks like for me, making silly videos, sharing my thoughts and opinions. But I trust my intuition enough to do this. And I trust that the universe is constantly conspiring for our greatest good, and I trust that my experience, strength, and hope can benefit others. And as I move through the the deconstruction of negative thoughts and patterns and behaviors, I begin to see the true me, and the more I see of me, the more I really love, Right now I'm really an erratic person. I feel like maybe it's just internally because I've been through so much. Just over the last 2 years, I was married, diagnosed with Lyme disease. My best friend committed suicide. My uncle died. I had a hysterectomy. My husband filed for divorce. We were homeless, and then I did this energy clearing with this angel medium named Patricia in DeLand, and 2 days later I got into housing, and things are just going up from there as I ride this wave of raising my vibration. It really works, and when I do the work, and the work is, I look forward to the work coming easier. The better things get. And so other things I'm doing. I talk about things that I love. This is how I raise my vibration. I talk about things that I love. When I'm feeling really shitty and I can't get out of my mind, I look around the room, and this I learned from Abraham Hicks. I watch Abraham Hicks videos all the time. That's one of the things I do that helps me raise my vibration. I look around the room or go on a walk and we talk about all of the things that we love, and it distracts my mind long enough for the universe to work out what's going on in the situation, and I monkey bar up the emotional scale. I have been working on the way that I speak, again, talking about Dr. Emoto, the way that our words influence our bodies and life. I've been trying to rephrase things, and I have been explaining to people trying. When I'm in alignment with Source, I do a really great job of explaining what I don't want to happen by focusing on what I do want to happen. For example, instead of yelling at the kids to say, I don't want you guys running in and out of the house, I would sit them down and I would just say, what I want is for you guys to choose inside or outside. And I'm teaching that to my children too, to talk about what they want, and it's been really beneficial in our communication, because now, like, I don't have to, like, my oldest is going through puberty, and he's kind of like, he's wonderful, he's wonderful, he's wonderful, and he's an emotional wreck. He's just going through puberty. And so being able to help him focus on what he wants has been really helpful for him in his emotional stability. Doing a lot of reprogramming, which is kind of exhausting but totally worth it. I'm always trying to pay attention to what I'm thinking. I'm trying to be the observer, and when a negative tape starts playing from some form of indoctrination that I received through church or through my family starts, I stop that shit. I flip in a new tape, and then I start playing. I'm beautiful, I'm lovely, I love myself, I'm awesome, I'm strong, I'm resilient, you know, I'm courageous, all of these things, you know, and I don't lie to myself, like, I am those things. When I'm doing well, I have a lot of good qualities. Problem is, sometimes I'm not always in alignment with myself, and that's, I think, what is with everybody. I've been breathing, I've been trying to breathe. I have manifestations of central sleep apnea, which is a complication of mast cell activation syndrome, which is a complication of the Lyme disease. I'm making a video. My son's trying to come in. No! They're okay, I promise. So I hold my breath as just throughout the day. I don't hold my breath, but what happens is I'll breathe out, and then my brain doesn't communicate with the diaphragm to say, hey, take another breath. So I have to be conscious of taking a breath. Oh, the dog, he just walked in. I'm dog sitting too. And so this is where singing has been really beneficial for me. I love singing. I'm a karaoke dork. I love trying to get out and go do karaoke. I haven't done it in a while. I'm working on a few private projects with some people I'm really excited about. But by singing, it makes me breathe. And singing is another way to raise your vibration! So, I've been walking around the house singing like a turd. And, that wasn't very nice. But I've been singing all over the place, which has had a really good effect, actually, because now my son Lucas, who is going through puberty and emotional stuff, is showing interest in singing. He wants to take singing lessons. So I love how the universe just mixes everything together in a delicious, smoothie, creamy shake. It's just delicious. I've been reaching for my authentic feelings more and more and more and more and more. Again, it is difficult because you have to be an observer and you have to be good at interjecting with yourself, but it can be done. I read inspirational material. I study becoming a medical intuitive. I study numerology and astrology and all kinds of stuff that helps me get a glimpse of who I really am. I pray, I meditate, I spend time in nature, I do things that make me laugh, I watch comedies, I try to go to comedy shows, I try to loosen up a little bit. I have this thing where I always want to be nice, and nice isn't always funny. So, I'm making a video. So, yeah, I kind of got really unfunny for a while because I wanted to be nice. So, like, my secret love is sarcasm. I love passive-aggressive communication. So, I'm kind of getting back into my sarcasm, and I don't know if other people like it, but it really makes me laugh. So, sorry, not sorry. I mean, I really don't want to hurt people's feelings, and I would still be direct with my feelings, but it's just kind of funny sometimes. I'm cooking yummy food that makes my body feel good instead of shoving Cheetos in my face that inflame my body. I have started creating art, and right now it's still on the kindergarten level, but I will be really proud when I can show you guys the amazing creations that I plan to sell at the farmer's market this fall. That's what I'm hoping for. That's my goal. It's good to have goals. It's also good to understand that life throws curveballs. So I'm just going to go with the flow, which is another way that I've been raising my vibration. Ta-da! I've been looking at the universe in a way that I am co-creating with my higher self, and I like to think that I've left myself little nuggets of wisdom, and I like to look at life now like I'm on a treasure hunt with myself to find myself. And it's really just about mind-fucking yourself into whatever way helps you feel better, because feeling better raises your vibration, and when you raise your vibration, then the things that you want to align with can come into your life easier. That's been my experience. Not that I mean, I've gone through hard times, as I told you, so it's not about privilege. It's not about getting lucky. It's about really hard work. For me, a lot of that work, 90% of that work is mental. 90% of that work is on an energetic level. 10% of that work is action. So I've also been stepping into the leadership role a little bit more. As with my life path, which I, looked up in this thing, and every single person that I've read their number to, their life path to, they're like, whoa, I've never had anything describe me so well. And in this book, I'm a 2810, and I have issues with authority. And I'm supposed to overcome my creativity with cooperation. And other stuff, I can't remember it at the moment. But, yeah, so it says I'm supposed to be a leader. And I would like to be a leader, to be honest with you. So I'm going to try it on, and, why not, right? Like, why not be a leader? Like, why not me? I've been through shit. I got stuff to say. I'm in recovery. Anyway. I'm doing these videos, creativity, raising my vibration. It feels really silly, but I have to be honest, it's getting a little bit more comfortable. I might be posting just the most ridiculous videos soon. I'm reaching for the thought that brings the most relief. So when I'm stuck in a moment of despair, then I reach for a thought that would make me feel better. For example, a lot of that time, you know, because you can't go from A to Z. I can't go from joy or from despair to joy in one leap. I have to monkey bar up the emotional scale. So I have to realize that if I'm in despair or I'm in deep sadness, then the next reasonable move for me is to get angry. And other people won't like when we're angry. But for us, if you're in despair, monkey barring up to anger is really, really important. And so I would get angry, and then I would be like, oh, well, now I'm angry. Well, now what comes next? Well, I need to monkey bar back up this scale. So I would look at the person or the situation, and I would try to look at it in a way that, would release this pent-up anger that I was just feeling in the moment. And anger is really just fear and sadness anyway. But this is an attempt to understand that I'm working up the scale. I'm not going to sit in this feeling. So I imagine myself, I don't ever really want to hurt anybody, but I imagine myself pinching, say it's a person, like I'll pinch them, like in my head, like, oh, pinch you. And the look on their face where they're like, oh, it just cracks me up. It makes me laugh. And then there I am, joy! And it seems really silly. But it works, and since I've been doing silly stuff like that, silly stuff like these videos, and making arts and crafts, and playing with the kids, and cooking good food, and singing, and being outside, and being on the water as much as I can, I've been feeling better and better emotionally, which then reduces the inflammation in my body, and I feel better physically. And the more that I work on my emotional roots of these illness and the repressed anger, and all of the repressed junk, which I'm realizing about myself from using this book. I love you, Yvette Rose. You have saved my life. Yes, you have. Yes, we love her. Yeah, so the book lists a bunch of diseases and then lists the emotional root, and then lists questions, and you just dig and dig and dig like a little creature that digs. What digs? Like a little mole, but a cute mole. Not one of those ugly moles. They're cute too. They're all cute too. Also, that psychic angel lady, Patricia, that I went to in Dilion, or in DeLand, I saw her at Mama Gaia's in DeLand. Mama Gaia's shop is super cool too. She put me in touch with my angels. I have these angels. I have all these angels. I'm surrounded. I'm sorry my paper got icky. But it travels with me everywhere because I talk to my angels now. And you should go see her because she was really amazing. And she knew things that I didn't even say. And she cleared some daggers and stuff from my heart. And she did the chakra balancing. And that's all stuff that I'm like a newbie at. So, and then things changed. So, I think there's truth to it. I think she's pretty rad. Her name's Patricia. Anyway, basically, I'm just doing things that make me feel good. And why not feel good? Why not feel good? We deserve to feel